Jay here from DTF Experts. So we get a lot of questions about how do we start the run of film in our printer. So we've been doing this for maybe a year and a few months. So we've came up with some things that we do. What I like to do is, I make sure first that the conveyor's off. Step manual, everything, all that. We don't want to run the tape the film onto it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this film out of the printer and we're going to run it down through here, and we're going to actually tape it to the conveyor. So what I'm going to do first is, normally we'll do nozzle checks and all that, but for demonstration purposes I'm just going to go ahead and feed the film out. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab this film. I'm going to make sure it's in the middle of my conveyor here, but I also want to look at this. See that wrinkle right there? It's all in correspondence with this. So if I move this film over like this, my wrinkle goes away. So watch, move it left to right, my wrinkle moves. So the goal here is to get this film going on this conveyor nice and straight. And this is how we're going to do this. So we're going to start it like this. Get me a couple pieces of tape out here. Excuse me. Get this nice and straight. Take my tape here, tape it in the middle first. Make sure my film still looks good up top up here. Looks good. I'm gonna come back and I'm going to tape it again. Now, I learned this the hard way. This is just some old cheap Scotch masking tape. Believe me, you do not want painter's tape. You don't want no expensive duct tape. You don't want no cheap duct tape. What's going to happen is, once this thing gets inside the conveyor, it's going to melt. So normally, I'd have nozzle checks, I'd have whatever I got going on over here, a test file. Now I may be a little excessive with this, but I've had it come off before. So I kind of just want to make sure that it's taped well. After it's all taped, I'm going to turn on my powder, and I'm going to get some powder on this thing. So we're on manual. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to auto, turn the volume where I want to. I'm going to turn my step auto on, so as it feeds out, the conveyor will cut on like it's supposed to. Next is going to be my vacuum. And then I'm going to turn the powder clear on. Then what I'll do I'll come over here and I'll hit print. So what's going to happen is I've got everything in place here, okay? My printer fed out a little bit. Once it starts printing, the film itself is going to drop down, and when it gets to that point, where the sensor picks it up, I've already got my step auto on. So when it gets to that point, it's going to start feeding it through. Another important thing about this method right here is make sure you meet this at the other side, okay? If you don't meet this at the other side, this film's going to roll up underneath there, and you don't want that. You really don't. Pain in the butt. So it comes out the other side. We tape it up on this roll down here, and we're good to go. So we're getting close to the point here where it's going to start beating on the film, and the film is getting lower and lower as it works with the printer. You know. Had lots of problems with this method at first. When it starts beating, the tape would want to come loose. So it's starting to beat now. Getting close to down there, it's getting close to the sensors. First sensor. Figures. Stop. Oh, there it goes. It's cut on. So can you see it moving there? Conveyor's actually moving. And what it'll do, if you see that red light down at the bottom of the duster, when it gets up around that red light, it's going to stop. Like a little laser sensor or something. And it stopped. It's not moving anymore. I hope this helps you guys get started. And see you next time.